Hello, hello. I'm John Binnie. Hello up there. So I've never done this before. I've never done an unboxing video today. But here I have my Tascam Model 12. It is a mixing desk. It probably looks quite small on camera. And I am using this for, so I have one that I use for music already downstairs in my music studio. The Tascam Model 12 does everything you need and more. And so what I'll do is I'll explain a little bit about it, and I might even show you some of the setup if my camera works at that angle. And also my family I'm just waiting for them to come home from school, and I'll stop when they do because I want to say hello. Anywho, so let me share first of all me opening it. So I got this one from Amazon. Do know that the prices vary dramatically for exactly the same device. So you can buy them at £700 or thereabouts. You can also buy them at around £500. So don't just go for the first one. And they're exactly the same. There's no variance. I did notice, so I already have a third one that's an old one. I think the model itself is about 5 years old, although the firmware is up to date as much as recent as last year. I think November last year, 2024. So yeah, you can try and open this. You can just double check that you have the latest model, and you can also download the latest firmware. And it's just available freely on the Tascam website. Just Google Model 24. Okay, in the box. So yeah, I should show this on the camera. I wonder if I can bring the camera any closer down. Let's see if I can bring you down. Ooh, I think I can. It's coming. It's coming. Oh wow, I've never done this. And I don't want it to just fall over and my phone to fall out. Okay, so what do we have? Unboxing. We have a manual. So the good news is you don't need to read all the manual. Like it's huge. It's not a waste of time. It's a helpful start. I'm going to take a couple things out here. I'm not sure I'm going to use them. So we have the little, these are like little stereo, do you call them phono ones? I think people talk about them in terms of the size. Almost like a headphone jack. And then there's a USB-C connection. So it uses a USB-C connection at the back of the mixing desk. And yay, I have a UK plug, which is great, because they don't always ship with UK plugs, and a power supply. So you will need the power supply, and you will need a UK plug, or a plug suitable for whatever country you're in. It was so exciting. I feel like it's Christmas. And yeah, why did I buy one? I bought one because, hang on, let me lift it out. This is quite heavy. I bought one because my job, I do a lot of podcasts. So I left my corporate job as a software manager last May, and now it's making lots of great noises. And now I do a whole range of services, including spiritual mentoring, energy healing, psychic readings, and reflexology, like that's foot massage, and also Swedish massage. So very different to my corporate job. I do a lot of music. I've released over 106. Well, I have released 163 albums of my own songs. Whoops. Try not to break this as I open it up. And so the one downstairs that I use in my music studio, I've just been in 2 client sessions today, doing energy healing and readings and coaching. And here it is. Oh, let me show you. It's so funny, this camera angle. So you can watch lots of videos about how to set these up and how to use them. But the really simple way of thinking about how the Tascams work, and I wish I'd known this years ago when I used the earlier predecessors to this, is that at the back that's where you plug stuff in, right? So for example, in port 1, you can plug in an XLR, or is it like a quarter-inch jack? Is that what you call it? So it goes in there. So that could be a microphone, for example. And then everything kind of flows from left to right. So this is mirror image for me, but down, it goes down this way, including a little fader at the bottom. And then it goes across through your different channels, like the main channel goes across here and then goes into like the effects and then comes out here, or you record stuff onto your SD card, this little slot in here. And you also have a little screen where you can hit record and all this kind of stuff. The amount of features this thing does is truly incredible. And I must admit, you know, when you buy a product and you're like, oh, I wish it did this. This is the opposite. It's like, it does those things you didn't realize that you wanted. And then when you see it, it's like, that's so cool. So for example, when I record music downstairs, everything comes in here, goes across the main channel, and then it gets recorded on the SD card. I mix it down, and then I use the USB connection, which is just there. The USB-C connection, I connect it into my my phone, and I copy the song file, the WAV file, onto my phone, and then I take it away, like I just take it out of the studio. When I'm doing live streams or podcasts, my voice comes into this channel, into channel 1, and roughly speaking, you try and get everything kind of set up at midpoint. The compressor is really good because it works either pre or post, so you can put, in other words, you can put compression on live while you're listening to something, and then you can also apply it when you're doing like a mix down of your song at the end. So I have that voice going in, and then back from either my phone through the USB connection or through a laptop, again with the USB connection, the sound of someone else talking. So if you're like on a Zoom call, for example, it would come back through this channel. You can also, on this latest version of the firmware, choose whether that replay of that sound from the people you're listening to comes back into here, or a different channel. And so it means that you can like use the slider. By the way, when you do that, lightly everything else you'll have set to live. Where's that? Yes, they're all set to live. But this one you probably have set to return. And let me just see which way around that is. Oh, sorry, it's not called return. It's called direct PC. So the middle position for these little sliders. And what that means is that it's receiving the sound back from the PC, or it's also called PC return, so it comes back in there. You can also connect a Bluetooth device, and so that can you can pair it with a device. So like your phone, you could pair with this, and then have your phone play the audio, the Bluetooth audio into here. Roughly speaking, try and get everything set to about 0 or mid position. And then when we turn this on, you'll see like when you hit the meter function, try and get all your inputs. And they're shown, like all the inputs are shown at this level here, like at your gain controls. Try and get them to the line. And then what you want through all this stuff, including the faders, is the output of these lights here that show your indications to stay within the green, and just every now and again it's okay to dip up into the amber. You definitely don't want it in your red. So yeah, at the back it has a MIDI capability as well. So I haven't used the MIDI capability. You can see a little MIDI here, but it allows you to like start, for instance, a drum machine. You can start a drum machine at the same time you hit record. There's also a foot switch, which I have, which is really good. There's a click, so that's for your metronome. And I wonder, it never occurred to me, here's another feature I've never tried, is I wonder if you can like tap something to get the click to work, because you can tap. It has its own built-in, well, it has many things. It has a looper built in, which is called Vamp, Virtual Amp. And then it also has this little thing here, this little button here for tapping. So you can actually tap in, you can go to the menu setting, and for the metronome, you can tap it to a certain rhythm, and it will continue that rhythm. So that might be for what that feature's for. It has stereo, so each of these are mono, 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 stereo, stereo. So these have a little like dashed line at the back that connects the two here. So these are the two inputs for each stereo channel. And then it has a sub output as well. I don't really use that, but I do have a subwoofer if I wanted to use that. You can also have two different headphones connected, two pairs of headphones, and then change the volumes and also change the content of what goes in. And the effects are fantastic. I tend to use live. Is it live or studio? One of those two. And I usually set like it just a little bit quiet. And then, you know, when you go on a podcast, for example, you can just hit mute and it'll stop that sound coming through. So yeah, that's the Model 12 in not plugged in and up and running for about 10 minutes. And it's interesting. I think this is a different version to what I have downstairs. But I think it all runs, I think it's because the power supply connection is different. I think. I might be wrong, but I think so. But I know that they all take the same firmware and they all do the same things. So it might just be a different hardware revision. So I'm really excited to set this up. I do use, I don't know if you can see it on camera, I use one of these mics. I'll just show you quickly, which is the SMB. Oh, you could have angled over to the side there. This is the SM7B Shure microphone. You can tell because it always says Shure at the back. And no, I haven't added the plate on. And what's good about that is that you can, it's amazing quality, and you can definitely get full range of your voice in it. One of the downsides is that it does need phantom supply, and the compressor is okay on the Model 12, but it's very restrictive. So the more you turn it up, it's like the more it squeezes the voice, it becomes very flat sounding. So I do like at least I like my vocals and including my talking voice to have like a dynamic range to it, getting louder and quieter, and then but not get too loud. So it's like almost like a top layer of the frequency of compression. I like to kind of to compress. And so I have, and it's flashing away as I'm talking because this microphone's on. I have a DBX 266XS. It's easy for me to say. I'll say that again. DBX 266XS, and that's a vocal compressor. And so what happens is this microphone here connects into a phantom power supply, and so that gives it power, and then also a cloud. I think is it called like Cloud Maker or something? But it's a cloud which helps filtering and boost the signal of these dynamic mics, and then also it connects then from there into the vocal compressor with all the S's and the X's I just described, and from there into my Tascam. It does seem like a lot of steps, but I have experimented lots of different things, and that works best for me. Also, what I want in an environment like this, I'm just in a normal room, like an office room, and what it really helps having is a vocal compressor or filter, where you're a bit like Zoom does, a lot of these software products do themselves, just able to filter out some of that background noise, so someone coming in from outside, etc., which is happening now. Anyway, I hope this finds you well. It was a lot of fun. And here's my dog barking. Take care. See you soon. Okay, so just to test the sound that it's set up, let me flip here around. And I'm speaking into the microphone so you can see lots of flashing lights as we go. So first of all, my microphone that you saw, my Shure SM7B, it comes into just down here in channel 1, and you can see as I'm talking, a little light is showing up, and that's because if you look over at the live input, it's coming up just a little line. So that's about as loud as we should allow it to go. So if I talk loud, it's just creeping up above that line. The compressor is off, so that's the green button, and then I've been playing with these EQ settings. Now you can't hear the audio yet from the Model 12, but that's my voice EQ settings I've chosen. So just a little bit up on the treble and upper frequency, and a bit more on the bass. There's no echoes on. The stereo is panned to center, and then you can see the main channel. That main button there is pressed in, so that means that it goes across all the way to here. And my headphones, I'm using headphone 1, which is the input up at the back there. That's controlled by this knob here, which is really good to know actually, because I was just testing it to see how loud it goes, and I could turn it up a lot louder if I wanted to. And here's the effects. Like I could turn on reverb if I wanted to, but I don't think I'll ever really use that. Maybe for jokes or something. The sub is muted, and then this is the main channel. So when you can see me talking and the green light goes up and down, that's what happens. So the way the microphone there is connected into this is the DBX 266S, and the way I understand it is I've got the filter set here, so it's like filtering off any of the background noise, and then it has like dynamic compression. So these little green lights show that there's like this dynamic algorithm that's listening to my voice and then trying to adjust the compression to give it some, it's like a balance of natural balance, finding that kind of that sweet midpoint, but at the same time not allowing my voice to get too loud or too quiet. And if I really wanted to, I could turn up the compressor, the little green button down there, the green knob down there, and turn it up and increase the compression there. So that's it. I will plug it in for a second and show you what it sounds like. Okay, and that's me set up with the Model 24. Now, you're hearing the audio connected directly from the USB into the phone I'm using. I'm using a Samsung S20. And it's not this Tascam you're hearing. This is my old one that I've unfortunately broken a couple of times. And it's still helpful for keeping as a spare. But yeah, it's a lot of fun getting these things working. It didn't take me that long to just swap these Tascams around. Top tip, if you ever have more than one, just take a photo of all the settings and then mimic them on your new device. And then take photos of your menu settings and then set those up. There's only a couple I had to do from factory defaults. It also came with the latest firmware, which is good news. So I didn't have to go and do an upgrade. You upgrade it through the SD card, which is a pretty straightforward set of instructions, and you can just follow what's in the manual for that. And yeah, that's it. I'm going to enjoy doing podcasts and work up here in my office and not always having to do my music studio. And I also love the fact that it's a small device, so I can enjoy using the Tascam if I'm traveling as well. And maybe that's what I'll use the spare one for. I'll use it for traveling. Yes, great idea, John. So yeah, that's a lot of fun to try out, and I hope this audio is sounding good. This video is not sponsored by Tascam. If you are from Tascam and you're interested in sending me any of your products to review, and my kind of non-negotiable boundary for that is that I would like, I'd only review things that I definitely use. But I feel like I would definitely use the Tascam. And I know they've got a new successor to this, but it's a very different breed, a very different beast. And so for now, I'm very happy with this fantastic workstation. You can also use it with DAWs as well, with digital workstations. So I'm definitely going to experiment with that. And I also have a MIDI drum kit I use. So I have an electric drum kit I use, and that would be a lot of fun to try out as well, working with the MIDI. So lots to discover. And yeah, maybe I will also add in one of my songs at the end so that you can hear what it's like with my setup down in my studio below. It's almost identical in setup. The only small difference is the phantom power supply that I use. Everything else is identical. And the reason for that is I wanted everything to be simple and easy for me to remember how to use. So yeah, that's it. If you have any questions, any suggestions, let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Do you remember unity? That we all come from the same source of love, this divinity. Do you remember being at one? Yet we're a collection of unified, beautiful, divine souls. Remember this in your heart, and I feel it's beautiful. We all get to choose to incarnate into these lifetimes, and we choose so much drama. Oh, and we always grow. Yes, it's true. Feel this love. This love in you. Feel this beautiful unity. It's growing inside of you. Do you remember unity? Being part of the same source of love, you and me. And it's true, this all grows within me and you. So let's celebrate all our unique superpowers. Every one of us, unique in our own ways. And yes, we can be divided.